Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings, your host Ram welcoming you to today's Cricket Happening show with the news that Mumbai Indians are the newly crowned champions of the Indian Premier League 2013 for the first time in the history of Indian Premier League. And not only that, it's the first time that they won the Indian Premier League tournament, and in the final today they put up a good performance by actually the bowlers were the ones to thank for, even though Mumbai Indians couldn't manage a very good score. They managed only 148, but it was always a winning score. The reason being, if you look at the history at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata, the 147 has been the par score if you go by statistics, and 148 was 1 run more. But the victory margin for Mumbai Indians was by 23 runs. So they went on to pick up their first ever win, a first ever title, an IPL title, and what a proud moment. And with the Mumbai Indians winning this, without the presence of Sachin Tendulkar, but Sachin Tendulkar sprung a surprise after the IPL 2013 ended by saying that he won't be playing any IPL matches in the future. So probably Sachin Tendulkar now is slowly getting away from cricket, I would say, because now he doesn't play like he doesn't play in the 2020 versions, as you know. 50 overs was also something that he has already said goodbye. So now it's only test matches that Sachin Tendulkar will be playing. Well, so just talking about the match, so this is something that I'll be talking about. I'll be just talking about how the match really went on there at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata, where a holiday crowd had turned up, and a very big crowd at that. And then we will look at the third day's play in England versus New Zealand, where the match has once again in favor of England, because what England did, even though they were quickly wrapped up today for 354, they managed to bowl out the New Zealanders for 174, and this time the chief wreckers were Stephen Finn and Graham Swan, the right arm off spinner. And I'm sure New Zealand probably, as I've already said in the preview, that they might have made that cardinal error of not including a specialist spinner in the team, Daniel Vettori. And well, Daniel Vettori is there, but Daniel Vettori is sitting, he is not a part of the team, which according to me really saddens me, because looking at the rough that is being created outside the off stump, and by the way Graham Swan bowled and trying to gut the ball with some good sharp turn, one would have probably thought that Daniel Vettori, who is just sitting on the sidelines even after coming into the New Zealand team after his injury and not being played, I thought that was a cardinal error which has been committed by New Zealand. Because after seeing the way Graham Swan, the right arm England offie, has been bowling, one could be pretty confident to say that. And Daniel Vettori, as you know, he is more experienced than Graham Swan as far as cricket is concerned, Test cricket is concerned. Well, so we'll come to that later. And England, they finished at 116 for 1 at close of play. So the most of the concentration today in this Cricket Happening show is going to be on the Indian Premier League finals, which happened between Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. So the Mumbai Indians, Rohit Sharma, the captain, won the toss and elected to bat. And Mumbai Indians put up a score of, they didn't have a good start either. In fact, they had a very bad start. The first wicket to go was Dwayne Smith, who was gone. He actually hit one, he blazed one through the offside of the Mohit Sharma, but the very next delivery, Dwayne Smith was gone. He was trying to defend it, but Sharma had got the ball to jag in, and Dwayne Smith was gone. LBW ball Mohit Sharma for four balls with 1-4. And Aditya Tare was the next one who followed him to the pavilion, as Aditya Tare was clean bowled. He tried to flick one, he was clean bowled by Morkel for a duck. And then when Rohit Sharma in the fourth over was gone, he was cotton bowled Morkel for 2, and that left Mumbai Indians at a very sorry state at 16 for 3 with Dinesh Karthik and Raidu. And then there was a brief little partnership which took on the score to 52 with Ambati Raidu looking good, and Dinesh Karthik also playing, both of them trying to take their time and try to really stabilize the innings, but they could do as much as only 52 runs were concerned for the fourth wicket. when Dinesh Karthik fell, Morris was the bowler, and Morris actually clean bowled him for 21 of 26 balls with 3 fours. So that made it 52 for 4. And then Ambati Rayudu was joined by Kieron Pollard, and this was another partnership which went to 48 runs as far as the 5th wicket was concerned. And at a stage when things were looking not very settled, but the Mumbai Indians have brought up the 100 mark in the 15th over. That was the time Ambati Rayudu departed. Ambati Rayudu was clean bowled by Bravo. Bravo, as you know, is the highest wicket taker in the tournament. He had taken 31 wickets in the tournament. Today, he picked up this 30th wicket when Ambati Rayudu was gone. As Ambati Rayudu actually tried to hit him over the top, and he had taken a step down, and Ambati Rayudu missed it, and he was clean bowled by Bravo for 37 of 36 balls with 4 fours, but he looked good in his batting. And then Kieron Pollard was the man who actually had a little support of Harbhajan Singh, who slammed 14 of 8 balls with 3 fours in one particular over of Bravo, and Bravo was the one who took his wicket. And Harbhajan Singh was caught in the fence very well by Hussey for 14, and which made the score 125 for 6. And after that, it was only Kieron Pollard. But what was good about, let's talk about Kieron Pollard's batting. As soon as he came, he stamped his class. The first ball that he received, he merely pushed Morris for a 4. And looking at the way Pollard was batting, what was very good to see was Pollard was getting everything on the middle of his bat. So that said it all, and I had a very sneaking feeling that Pollard would be the man today who is going to score runs, and that's what precisely happened. In fact, Kieron Pollard went on to make an unbeaten 60 of just 32 deliveries, 7 fours and 3 sixes, and that's the precise reason Mumbai Indians, even though they struggled, they still went on to a score. Finally, it proved to be a winning score of 148 for 9 of their 20 overs. And the other problem with Pollard was probably one thought that, Pollard could have got much of the strike, because what was happening was Pollard was not getting the strike at all because wickets were falling at the other end. The tailenders were on view, and the Chennai Super Kings bowlers really took advantage of that. And Kieron Pollard, only when he got two in the final over, Pollard got only 2 balls to play off Bravo, and both the balls were actually smashed for 6s, with Kieron Pollard not out on 60 of 32 balls, 7 fours and 3 sixes. Harbhajan Singh, as I said, 14. Dhawan was out for 3. Johnson was out for 1. Malinga was out for a duck. 148 for 9 was the final tally for the Mumbai Indians. And the bowling figures as far as Chennai Super Kings were concerned: Mohit Sharma, 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 26, provided the breakthrough. Markel bowled 3 overs, 2 for 12. Morris 4 overs, 1 for 25. Ashwin 3 overs, none for 22. Jadeja bowled 2 overs for 19. And Dwayne Bravo was by far the best bowler, 4 for 42. Even though he leaked runs, he got 4 wickets for 42 runs, and he got 31 wickets in the IPL 2013. It has been a great tournament for Dwayne Bravo, I would say. And Chennai Super Kings, with the score on 148, one would have definitely fancied that the Chennai Super Kings, even though there have been a lot of tensions going on as far as the Chennai Super Kings franchise is concerned, with all the controversy surrounding them, but still, Chennai Super Kings, one thought that, with the mighty batting lineup they had, and with the good opening starts provided, they could really provide some great entertainment, and probably it was not going to be easy for Mumbai Indians. But definitely there was another story to it today, with Lasith Malinga starting off proceedings, and in the very first over and in the 4th delivery, Hussey was gone. What a Yorker from Lasith Malinga. Got it snuck under Michael Hussey's bat, and the stumps were gone. So Michael Hussey was gone, bowled Malinga for 1. After that, Suresh Raina, the very next delivery, the very first delivery he faced, there was a real plan in place. What Malinga did is he brought out a bouncer, and Suresh Raina, trying to fend it off, ended up with a catch at backward shot like Smith pouched it. He was gone for a duck, which made the score 2 for 2. And Subramaniam Badrinath also didn't trouble the scorers at all. And this time it was Johnson from the other end who started doing the trick, as he picked up his first wicket of Subramaniam Badrinath. Subramaniam Badrinath was caught behind the bowling of Johnson for a duck, and Chennai Super Kings at the time were reeling at 3 for 3. And after that, it was Murli Vijay and Bravo at the crease. Bravo came in, and Bravo played some confident looking boundaries, and it was looking like it was a sort of Murli Vijay was at the other end, and it was looking like Chennai Super Kings were slowly trying to build up, but at that particular juncture, Dwayne Bravo had to go to the pavilion. At Rishi Dhawan in his very first ball, the only over he bowled, Rishi Dhawan picked up a wicket. At Dwayne Bravo tried to put a ball through the offside, and Johnson actually took the catch, and he was in for a slower ball. He was deceived by the slower delivery from Dhawan, and Johnson took the catch, and 15 runs was to his name. Dwayne Bravo of 16 balls with 3 fours departed. Chennai Super Kings were 35 for 4 at that stage. And after this, at 35 for 4, Dhoni didn't come in. It was Jadeja who was actually promoted in the batting order. Jadeja came in to bat. Jadeja, let me tell you, at 35 for 4, it soon became 36 for 5 when Jadeja, the Harbhajan Singh was the bowler, and Jadeja played a rank bad shot. He actually tried to, it was a half-hearted shot from Jadeja. He had not put everything into it, and he actually, put up a dolly for Pollard to catch at the fence, and he was walking for a duck, which made the score 36 for 5. And when Murli Vijay, another rank bad shot from Vijay, trying to pull a delivery from Johnson and skied it, Sharma took the catch, and Murli Vijay was gone for 18 of 20 balls with 2 fours, which made the score a precarious 39 for 6. And then Dhoni and Albi Markel at the crease. Albi Markel hit a 6 of Oja, but that was it. Albi Markel was gone as Oja got a ball which Markel tried to play, and he got himself yacht for 10 of 10 balls with 1 4, which made the score 57 for 7. But Dhoni was there at the crease, and then the problem was that he couldn't get any support from the tailenders, as Morris was out for a duck, Ashwin was out for 9 of 18 balls, Mohit Sharma was not out or not, and in the end the run rate started climbing from 9 to 10 to 12 to 14. But Dhoni was there, the hope was there for Chennai Super Kings, and also Mumbai Indians wanted that wicket of Dhoni. But they never got the wicket of Dhoni, but still they won the match, as Dhoni, in a very losing effort, but he played his part. In fact, he was the highest scorer if you compare both the teams. Dhoni was the highest scorer with an unbeaten 63 of just 45 deliveries, in which he slammed 5 sixes and 3 fours, but to no avail, as Chennai Super Kings went down in this match, and they went down in the finals of the Indian Premier League 2013 to lose by 23 runs, and 125 for 9 was the final tally for Chennai Super Kings. As far as the bowling was concerned, Malinga bowled superbly, 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 22. He started it all. Johnson chipped in well, 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 19. Also bowled well in the end stages. Pragyan Oja, 1 for 28 for him. Dhawan bowled a solitary over, 1 for 6. Harbhajan Singh was very impressive. He didn't bowl his full quota, 3 overs, no maiden, 14 runs and 2 wickets. And Kieron Pollard also bowled well, 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 34. And that was it. Mumbai Indians going on to win their first ever Indian Premier League tournament, and that was in 2013. And what a proud moment for the new captain of the Mumbai Indians team, Rohit Sharma, who came as the captain of the team after Ricky Ponting decided to sit out. And that proved to be a great challenge, and also proved to be a great masterstroke. And in the end, that masterstroke yielded a great win for the Mumbai Indians. So congratulations to Mumbai Indians, Rohit Sharma and his team. And the player of the match was Kieron Pollard, and the player of the series went to Shane Watson. Thus ended the Indian Premier League 2013. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, I don't have much time to share, so let me just brush through this the next match which I wanted to talk about. Stumps on day 3. England were all out for 354. It was quick work done. Trent Boult was the one who had a 5-wicket haul. It was his second 5-wicket haul in Test cricket. 22 overs, 4 maidens, 57 runs and 5 wickets. Nothing to really talk about. Matt Pryor was out for 39. 26 to Graham Swan, who remained unbeaten. As far as New Zealand were concerned, New Zealand were totally outplayed, I would say. And even though today it was not Anderson and Broad, even though they took only 3 wickets among them, but it was Stephen Finn and Graham Swan who shared the spoils to have New Zealand all out for 174. 4 for 42 for Graham Swan, and Stephen Finn had 3 for 36 to his name. As far as the New Zealand innings were concerned, well, Peter Fulton made 28 with 5 fours, 27 coming in from Hamish Rutherford with 4 fours, and other than that there were 20 from Brendan McCullum. There's nothing to really talk about, because it was Graham Swan in a particular spell where he took 3 wickets in 7 balls. So that was the spell which turned it all. And in the end, it was some plucky batting from the tailenders, Neil Wagner and Trent Boult. Trent Boult smashed 3 sixes of the bowling of Graham Swan. He remained unbeaten on 24 of 15 balls, 1 4 and 3 sixes. In 5 overs, they put on 52 runs, so they went into one-day mode. From 122 for 9, New Zealand reached something I wouldn't say, at least they saved some face here by reaching 174 all out thanks to the 10th wicket stand, which yielded 52 runs of just 5 overs. Neil Wagner made 27 of 15 balls with 6 fours, the feature being 4 fours in one single over of Stuart Broad. Ross Taylor was out for 6, Kane Williamson was out for 13, Brownlee was out for 2, Martin Guptill was out for 1, Brendan McCullum made 20, Tim Southee made 19. And as far as the bowling, I already spoken about the bowling, and let's talk about the England batting. England started off positively. They were 180 runs ahead, and they didn't enforce the follow-on, and they went ahead, and Alistair Cook was in a very, very confidence personified. He was very, very positive right from the word go, and he was stroking the ball with great precision, and he was driving well, cutting well, and finally he finished at an unbeaten 88 with 13 beautifully hit boundaries. Nick Compton was in stark contrast, struggled to 7 runs of 45 balls and was dismissed out of his misery by Williamson. He was caught by Rutherford for 7. And then Jonathan Trott saw off the day along with Alistair Cook to remain not out on 11. And England finished on a strong note here at 116 for 1. But the main thing being the overall lead, swelling the total for England to 296 with 2 more days to go in this particular match. Trent Bolt was unfortunate. Trent Bolt couldn't bowl in this match, and as I said, I have a feeling, I'm not going to go through the bowling figures, there's nothing to really talk about. Only 2 more days to go, and as I said earlier too, I'm sure New Zealand would be, because I sincerely feel that you should never go into a test match without a specialist spinner, and New Zealand, according to me, have done that cardinal error. Seeing the way Graham Swan was turning the ball square, he was turning it very well, there's a rough outside the off stump, and if looking at all that, I think if New Zealand lose this match, I'm sure the only question on everyone's mind or everyone's lips would be one thing: why Daniel Vettori, the left arm spinner, very, very experienced person who is there in the New Zealand team just because Bruce Martin has been sent back to New Zealand, but is sitting inside the pavilion but not playing in the middle. So that is a $1 million question according to me, because as I said, if it looks like definitely England are going to take this test match 2-0, but well, as I said, it's a $1 million in the sense it's a real puzzle as to why left arm spinner Daniel Vettori has been left out and New Zealand went in with a 4-pronged pace attack, especially looking at the way Graham Swan has been turning the ball and has been getting the wickets. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, on this note, your host Ram is ending the cricket show for today, but promising you that I'll be back with more tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.